Hi, this is Zach here with a weekend edition of the US Chartbreakers here at Zach's Traders Cafe. It is Saturday, the 24th of May, starting off with the S&P, which has retreated to the area which was expected, so around 57.80, the low actually 57.67, and closed back above 5,800. And we're hoping that Friday's low will be the low of the move. Obviously, we've got to allow down to the recent gap floor 56.90, but hoping that we can get away with the 57.70 zone over the near term. While we're above that on an end of day close basis, they're looking for the March resistance on the way down and the 6,000 level by the end of next month. Moving on to the Nasdaq, and here picture similar to that of the situation at the S&P. I suppose the difference here is that we had a gap, which was a bit of a target there, so 20,800, managed to close back above that. So still looking for this market to get through the 21,500 level, recent resistance, and then head back to the best levels of the year through 20,000, 22,200. Worst case at the moment, it's got to fill that gap down to 20,200, but hopefully we will get away with it. Moving along to the stocks, and a lot of stocks today. I couldn't really narrow it down, and it's Alt 5 Sigma, which is the first one, and here a beautiful breakout through the resistance there from back in February, around $7.80, and above that, looking for the top of that rising trend channel from way back in April last year, heading for up to $12 by the end of June. Another situation which is very encouraging, a very decent chart, is Allied Gaming. And the reason for the excitement here is it looks as though we're in a mid-move consolidation. So the top of the channel there, up to $3, looking for that. Hopefully, though, in the next couple of weeks, while we remain on the right side of the $1.80 level, which is recent resistance. Stock which we covered during the week and is back again, which is good, is Biosig Technologies, and here a near vertical move for this stock over the recent past. I mean, it's been vertical basically since the end of last month, so it's 1 month in a vertical line. Top of the channel there, $6.35. We're looking for that over the next week or so, and after that, I suppose, come up with a new target. Upside value while we're above the Thursday resistance around $4.80. New name coming up next, which is Douglas Ellimann, and here a sort of breakthrough, not quite a breakthrough at the moment. It's actually a bull trap, but need to break through that $3 level, above $3, looking for the top of the rising trend channel there from April last year, as high as $4.10 by the end of next month, or even sooner. Ideally, we stay above recent resistance on the way down around the $2.50 mark. Decent push higher the next stock, which is Energy Fuels, and here unfilled gap to the upside, breaking recent resistance around the $5.10 level, and above that, looking for the top of the channel from back in December as high as $6.90 by the end of next month. Nice bounce for the RSI in the just below the 50 area as well. Moving along to Lightbridge, and here the pictures of a stock which is continuing on the recent recovery we already had. Unfilled gap to the upside at the end of last month. Another one on Friday and above $12.60. Looking for the shares to make progress within a rising trend channel from back in October, heading for $20.50. Hopefully by the end of next month or even sooner. But the key here, staying on the right side of $12.50. Another new name, which is exciting at the moment, is Merus, and here a rather large gap to the upside, just taking out the resistance of back in November, but at least while we're above the support area of Friday at around $50, looking for the shares to hit up to $73 or $74, in fact $75 maybe by the end of next month. But the key, staying above 50. Ideally, we don't really go back below 51 or 52 because that would be a bit too much of a retracement. Moving along to a stock which we have looked at before, which is, I won't say famous, but has been featured here on various occasions, and looking for Nano Nuclear to do the business on the upside. Here we've broken through the recent resistance, March resistance at $33 above that, looking for The highs, obviously, from back in January as high as $47. Current situation is that shares are in a rising trend channel, top of the channel, currently heading towards the upper parallel of the line I've just drawn, so towards the $52 level. That could be as soon as the end of next month, but the key is staying above the $33 area. Next on the list is Neovolta, and here you can see that we've had a nice bounce above a rising 50-day line, $2.65, above that 50-day line, looking for the top of the broadening triangle, and post-November resistance towards $5.50 plus, and looking for that by the end of next month. New name coming up next, which is Oklo, and here rising trend channel, gap through, second gap actually, that was a mid-move consolidation, then another gap, so looking pretty strong indeed. Hopefully heading for $70 by the end of next month, while we hold above the latest gap, in fact, latest resistance around $41 on that situation. Star of the show and one of the stars of the year to date has been Regencell, where ironically we actually had, well, not ironically, we actually did have a $23 target, the initial one, back in March, and obviously that was exceeded. And now we're looking at basically a different ball game. We're assuming that this consolidation between around 330 and 550 has been a mid-move consolidation, and guessing that the top of the channel there is at up to $920, which could happen at the current rate of progress by the end of next month. Ideally, we stay on the right side of 490 really, which is recent broken resistance, ahead of a move to $900 plus. Moving along to another new name, which is which is called Sharplink Gaming. Here we've got a broadening triangle base, top of the triangle there, $9, basically $10, and we're looking for that while we're above resistance on the way down towards the $6 level. On to the last three. The first one, quite a flyer as well at the moment, in the form of UEC, otherwise known as Uranium Energy Core. And here you can see that we've had an inverted head and shoulders breakout via a gap, which is all the more strong, and above $6. Looking for the shares to fill the gap down from back in January at $8 by the end of next month. The next stock that we're looking at is Vivopower, and this has already been a winner. You can see the broadening triangle base that we had. The shares hit the top of that triangle around $4.40 back in March, but it's a new game now. We've got a rising trend channel, a very steep one. That's heading towards $10. We're looking for that by the end of next month, while we remain on the right side of recent broken resistance, $5.15. Finishing off with a flourish in the form of United States Steel. Here we're approaching the top of that rising trend channel, $55. Hopefully we'll do that over the next week or so, and looking for the shares, I suppose, to remain on the right side of $50 as they head up to the $55 plus range. That's it for me today. More updates during the week.